What is going on, everybody? It's the Fonz, and we're back again for our SmackDown live review for August 28, 2018. We just got done watching SmackDown Live, where we had a rematch for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship between Carmella and Charlotte Flair as the main event. We had a triple threat match, tag team match for a mini tournament, which I guess Paige loves mini tournaments, to see who will face the New Day at Hell in a Cell. We also had a good promo between Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton, which has set up another match for Hell in a Cell. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe continue to get overly personal as Samoa Joe just keeps going further and further into the personal bag and just getting at AJ Styles. And also, Andrade Cien and Daniel Bryan had a match as well, in which was pretty darn good until the end of that match. Not much else here on SmackDown Live. We did have the show open with the New Day celebrating their tag team victory from last week and being 5-time tag team champions, when a certain 5-time champion makes his return, and I don't even know what to say about this.
Your boys, the New Day, did exactly what we do best, and that is become your SmackDown Live WWE World Tag Team Champion! And brothers, I've waited a mighty long time to finally do this, but we are now not your one time, not 2 time, not 3, not 4, but you dig it, sucker.
Why? And before we go anywhere, if anyone doesn't know what Big E's talking about, back in NXT, his entire gimmick was that he wanted, 3 wasn't good enough. He always wanted 5. He would always do like a 5. And every time he won a match, he would cover the person again and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was his gimmick in NXT that never surfaced onto the main roster. They kind of just nipped that in the butt when he came up with to help AJ Lee and Dolph Ziggler against John Cena. And it's something that's going to be like his shtick for right now because there are 5-time tag team champions. But yes, we had the Royal Pain King Booker make his return to whatever.
King Booker, ruler of the SmackDown world. Thank you.
God. Yeah, the New Day get on their knee, on one knee, because it's King Booker. Oh my goodness.
Club of them all, welcome my royal. Pardon me. No. Pardon me, my liege. But Kofi and Woods got these really cool regal names. But where is mine? You already have it down. Big in your name. You just went full Saxton on me.
Wow.
Saxton, yes. You didn't say that.
God, man, this is stupid.
You didn't just say that. I did. You know what? You should be on your knees right now, bowing down, kissing my feet. You know what? There's only one who should be in the 5-time championship club.
If I'm correct, the Usos are also 5-time tag team champions, but let's not talk about that.
Until now. Welcome to the 5-timers championship club of all time. Yes. The kid you dig that sucker! In a moment, what a decree by the king! No thanks to you, Saxton. Well, that's what you meant by that. I was probably referring to the fact that you're out here dressed in your New Day.
So they do a bunch of spinning roonies, and that was the end of that segment. Oh my goodness. I want the New Day to just end. I am tired of the New Day. back in the, like, lose the titles to somebody and then back in the line and disappear for a while. Just, it was an okay segment. Then we go straight into the Bar versus the Colognes versus the Club, and the Colognes are actually in WWE still. I'm surprised. Like, I didn't expect them. This match, before this match even started, you could tell who was going to win this match because of all three teams, only the Bar got an entrance that wasn't a jobber entrance. We get the Bar come out, and they have their entrance, they go to commercial break, we come back, and the Club and the Colognes are in the ring. So it was like, if the Bar don't win this match, I don't know what that's all about. Let's see, we had the Bar win this match when the Colognes hit a double backbreaker to, I believe it was Gallows, as Cesaro tags in, and he just picks up the pinfall victory for his team. Then we head to the back, and Paige is with Rusev Day, the reconciled Rusev Day, sitting here with wanting to be in this tag team hunt when she has an announcement for next week, and the other three teams going up to face the Bar in 2 weeks.
Yes, seriously guys, thank you so much for being here. I got approached with a very, very strong argument as to why you guys deserve to be in the tag title picture. And I've got to say, I like it. I like it. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. So let me tell you this. Next week, it'll be you two facing the Usos, facing Sanity in a triple threat match.
Okay.
Right?
Like that.
Yes. And whoever wins that match will face the Bar and be one step closer to fighting for this championship.
Wow. What a great present for Lana and Rusev Day. And that's why Lana is the best. Lana number one.
Rusev, it wasn't me.
Come on!
I wanted to surprise you.
Get out of here!
Oh, that's right. But you know what? You can save the kiss for later with you two. You and me next week moves one step closer to tag team gold. And we do it on Rusev Day.
Lana is the best. Lana number one.
Good grief. So yes, next week we have Usos versus Sanity versus Aiden English and Rusev. And unless I'd say it's going to either be Sanity or the Usos winning that match. But if anything, I could see these two winning this match because the Bar are a heel tag team, and they want to kind of have that heel face dynamic with these two teams. Them going up against the Bar. The Bar, of course, would win and go on to face the New Day at Hell in a Cell. But I'm pretty sure wherever they're at next week will probably pop big if the Rusev Day wins next week, which would be nice to see them actually do something for these guys, especially with all the teasing of breaking this team up. All of it seems right in the world, and it's probably just a red herring. We probably will have the end of it's either they win next week or next week is when Rusev Day gets demolished completely. Moving on here, we had Jeff Hardy come out and issue a challenge for Randy Orton for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Now, before we go anything else, Jeff Hardy's face paint tonight was really, really weird. He had RKO on one side of his face, and on the other side he had like a face looking off to the side. It just looked really weird. But Jeff Hardy wants Randy Orton at Hell in a Cell inside Hell in a Cell.
Randy, you may think I'm some object of your affection, some stepping stone in your career, but you're wrong. When I put you through that table last week, I felt alive. I felt like the Jeff Hardy of old. I felt reborn. I felt rebroken by fate. And this is just the beginning. Randy, I know you hear me. So why don't you get out here and let me finish what you started?
The charismatic enigma. The high-flying Jeff Hardy is reborn. You have rediscovered yourself, Jeff. Congratulations, you are back
on the top, back on that pedestal. When you look in the mirror, you finally know who you truly are. And I appreciate you for giving me credit for all of that, Jeff. I really do. But the truth is, I'm not finished working on you yet. This version is the identity that I am going to take away. This version of Jeff Hardy is the career that I'm going to end. And I finally realized what I need to do to accomplish that, Jeff. And that's leave you a heap of broken bones in the middle of that ring. Now, wait a minute. Did you truly expect that I was going to get in the ring tonight on your terms, Jeff? Come on. I know you're not as dumb as all these Canadians.
Ooh, there you go. Get that, cheap
You're smarter than that. But I will leave you with this. You can call me what you want. Apex Predator, the Viper, even the Legend Killer. But the only thing you need to refer to me as is the 3 most destructive letters in sports entertainment. And that is R-K...
No! Randy Orton, you're going to hell, and I'm coming with you inside hell in a cell!
And there goes Randy Orton's pose for him. It has been made official. Randy Orton will face Jeff Hardy inside Hell in a Cell, at Hell in a Cell. Now, this feud, yes, can more in Hell in a Cell with how this has gone between these two, but if this is only going to be the only other Hell in a Cell match for the pay-per-view, it's not the one that feels like it should be. What does that leave AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe then? These two have gotten uber personal because of Samoa Joe's continuous attack on AJ Styles' family. It warrants a Hell in a Cell match. So, and the fact that it has been said and made official that we were going to get Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles at Hell in a Cell. What are you going to do? What are you going to do for that match? It cannot just be a singles one-on-one match like it was at SummerSlam. That makes absolutely no sense why you would even do that. It would make no sense at all. Especially after tonight, which hopefully they'll have that up here soon. Tonight, Samoa Joe even got even more personal. We'll get to that later. But this being the second Hell in a Cell match, and of course last night with Braun Strowman cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase and naming the stipulation for Hell in a Cell between him and Roman, what does that do? Where are we going to have... Where does that leave? Like, seriously, where does that leave the AJ Styles and Samoa Joe? You have to put a stipulation on this. Unless you want to continue this on to the Super Showdown and we get another fuck finish, and then we get another fuck finish, I don't see what they can do or why they would do this. I just don't get it. It makes no sense to me why they would have... I mean, yes, the way Samoa Joe, not Samoa Joe, but Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy have been is like, yeah, Hell in a Cell. If this was a SmackDown only pay-per-view, like it was last year, then I'd be like, oh, Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy in Hell in a Cell, and then Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles inside Hell in a Cell. But since it's dual branded and we have both Hell in a Cells already done, where does that leave the WWE Championship match? Because if it's a singles match with no stipulation, especially with how personal these two have gotten, how much anger AJ Styles has, it ended in a DQ last time, and all of us figured that if it ended in a DQ, they're going to set it up for a not a ladder match, but a Hell in a Cell match, but that's been taken already. So, what does this do for that match? I don't know, and it's going to be it's going to be real interesting to see where this goes. So, the fact that we have our second Hell in a Cell match and it's not the WWE Championship, I don't know where they're going from here. But that's definitely going to be a match, and I'm pretty sure this is something Jeff Hardy wants to do before he retires. He's done everything under the sun except wrestle. I think he was even in an Elimination Chamber. So he's done everything that WWE has to offer, but a Hell in a Cell match. So this could be one of the last few matches Jeff Hardy wrestles in WWE, where he has done literally everything else. He has the Hell in a Cell match and then calls it a career. It would not be surprising. Moving on here, we had Carmella in the back with Renee Young. Carmella just, spouting off lies about how she like the whole reason WWE Evolution is happening is because she brought relevance to the WWE, to this women's division. She's been the most relevant woman on SmackDown Live because she was the women's champion. The championship was meant for her, blah, 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 blah. Just spouting more lies about herself and how she will win the championship tonight because Mella is money. Mella is paper money, and I mean paper money as in fake money, but that's all she is. Then we had Naomi versus Billie Kay. This one was a short match with Billie Kay getting the win thanks to Peyton Royce with a kick to Naomi's face on the outside for a roll-up in a 1-2-3. So Billie Kay and Peyton Royce getting a couple of victories over Naomi to build themselves up to what? I don't know. Then we had Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella come out to talk about what happened last week when a certain pair interrupts them and Daniel Bryan is challenged to a match.
Week, Miz and Maurice came out here and they mocked my retirement. Miz closed his eyes. He took a deep breath in and said for the first time he could really feel it. But he couldn't because he was just acting, just like he always does. Just like he acts like he didn't cheat to win at SummerSlam, just like he acts like he has the hardest punch in the WWE. But just like with everything else, Miz is a very poor actor. Because when I came out to punch him in the face, he couldn't even act like a tough guy. He pulled his wife Maurice in front of him, and he was a coward. But that is when Brie came down to the ring.
Well, Daniel, speaking of those people, I know you don't need me to fight your battles, but a wife can't sit back and take all of that without having enough. Maurice is always helping Miz cheat to win. Miz and Maurice are always running their mouths, and even though I was running out to get my hands on Maurice, it felt so good to punch Miz in the face.
Never been a fan of Brie Bella on microphone. I'm just saying that right now. She has never really been a great promo.
And I'm not acting when I say this. It was also really hot. That's right, because my wife is a butt-kicking, diaper-changing, face-punching hot mama and a Hell in a Cell in a mixed tag match. Miz won't be able to hide behind Maurice.
And Maurice won't be able to hide behind Miz.
And together, we are going to shut the evil.
For whatever reason, so I'm trying to say Anonymous and Zelina Vega decide they want to interrupt and...
Want to formally introduce ourselves. My name is Zelina Vega, and I am the breathtaking, deal-making La Muñeca.
Whatever that means.
Manager to El Ídolo. And since arriving to SmackDown Live, my associate has successfully put Sin Cara on the shelf.
Twice.
Taken the WWE Champion AJ Styles to his limit. And destroyed Rusev.
Even though you guys lost the last match last week, let's just throw that under the rug.
Now I know that the Miz has already outsmarted you. But now, I think it's time that Andrade Cien Almas out-wrestles you. You guys want to
that was that. We had a match between these two, which was a damn good match until, of course, the end. We went to a commercial break, I'm pretty sure, and before that they showed Miz and Maurice watching in the back. Maurice says something into Miz's head, like into his ear, I don't want to say head, and they just walk off as they continue on. And the next thing you know, we come back from commercial and Miz is walking out. Daniel Bryan ends up suicide diving onto the Miz and pounding his face in. Match continues on some more until Daniel Bryan gets the yes lock onto Andrade Cien Almas. When Vega gets on the apron, of course Brie pulls her down and sends her flying, and then out of nowhere Maurice gets up and comes from behind, shoves Brie Bella into the ring post. That causes Daniel Bryan to let go of the yes lock. But Miz comes in, attacks Daniel Bryan from behind, causes the DQ, so Daniel Bryan wins the match by DQ. After that, Almas hits a hammerlock DDT. Yes lock gets put on Daniel Bryan by the Miz, while Brie is held by Maurice to watch before she gets hit with the double knees by Vega. And then, of course, a DDT by Maurice, and then a skull-crushing finale to Daniel Bryan, laying those guys both out. So they are hyping this match up. I'm going to have an interesting pick for this match when we get to the preview predictions in about 2 weeks from Sunday, or 2 weeks from this week. AJ Styles is out here to address Samoa Joe. He calls out Joe after saying he is done with this harassment shit, and I'm gonna call you out so we can finish this right here, right now. They don't have to flip up, and it's whatever. But Samoa Joe is in the back and says, "I'm not coming out there, and we're gonna make this more personal as can be." He has a phone, supposedly dials a number, and is talking to Wendy, and just says, "Well, I'm going to make that promise. I'm going to keep that promise that AJ couldn't. I'm going to send him home." And then says something to the fact of, "Are we still on for the daddy-daughter barbecue next week or something? Like in 2 weeks, save me a plate. I might be there next Tuesday." And that, of course, sends AJ Styles in a fit of rage running to the back to find Samoa Joe. Of course, he doesn't find him. So, again, why is this match not going to be in Hell in a Cell, and what kind of stipulation are they putting on this match? You cannot seriously tell me after what happened at Hell in a Cell that this, not Hell in a Cell, but at SummerSlam, that this match is not going to have any stipulation whatsoever. Give me a break. You've got to have stipulation on this match. Then we had Charlotte versus Carmella for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. This match went about 20-some minutes, and Charlotte won, of course. The match was nothing special. It's after, and during the match, though, the entire time during the match, we got "We Want Becky" chants over and over. Like, WWE tried and miscalculated so badly on Becky Lynch, turning her heel. It hasn't worked. It has been an absolute 100% failure already. And then we have like Charlotte wins with the figure eight. As soon as she wins, we have Becky Lynch with the crowd cheering her on, going completely crazy for the fact that Becky Lynch is beating the hell out of the women's champion. We get a Becky chance, "Let's go Becky" chance from the crowd. Becky Lynch grabs a microphone and says, "I'm taking back my SmackDown Women's Championship, and when I get done with get my way at Hell in a Cell, I'm taking the title, you bitch." And she throws down a microphone, holds the title up to a hero's applause, like she just took down the bad guy. She just took down the bad guy, and it's like, WWE, I don't know what you're trying to do, but this is not going to work for you. I don't know why you continue to think I don't know why you continue to think that you're going to be able to have Becky Lynch be a heel. She comes out to a hero's cheering. She beats the hell out of the women's champion, who's supposed to be the babyface, mind you. And she's getting applauded and cheered and getting her name chanted by the crowds in droves because they want her to see her succeed. they're trying to make her the bad guy, but yet WWE's the fans are treating her like what Daniel Bryan was back when he, in 2013/2014, when every time something went wrong and like he got pushed down, they helped him get back up. So WWE, you have failed on this endeavor. So it is going to be interesting to see what happens with this as we go. But that was SmackDown Live in a nutshell. Not much else happened. We do have a couple matches for Hell in a Cell, which is looking awesome, I guess. Not really, but we have another Hell in a Cell match, not the one. Let me know in the comment section below. I would like to see some comments on these reviews and everything. Let me know what you guys think of SmackDown tonight. What you thought of the Hell in a Cell match for SmackDown being Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy, and not Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. I honestly think that yes, this warrants it, but I honestly also don't think this is the right Hell in a Cell. Honestly, I thought that they might do a street fight for Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy and give Hell in a Cell to Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. What's your thoughts on the Becky Lynch attack and her words and the crowd reaction, and how WWE is failing to make this woman that nobody believes could be a heel is a heel? But find me on Twitter at TheFranz. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFranz08. Hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. Hit that like or dislike. Turn that bell on for all notifications. And thank you guys for watching the few that you have. My Raw review, which is up on the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT. Friday morning, we will have an all-in preview and predictions. If I can get a way to actually watch the show, I will have a review for All In as well. But that is all for now. My name is TheFranz, and I am out.